I'm going to make an attempt to do some summarization here. Let's see where I can go with this. But when we were talking progress, we were talking mobility has become a top priority. I heard someone talking here, top 3 priorities. One of them is mobility, and I think it's pretty much obvious in every organization these days that is true. I heard some progress about the empowerment of the workforce, and if you think about it, it really is empowerment of the workforce. You're giving a lot more capabilities to those with devices that are off-site and so forth. And I heard anytime, any place, anywhere, which is where we're going down the road in terms of being able to do our jobs. And of course, I agree with that too, because I don't know when, where, or I do my job. Some of the specific things we talked about, we heard a lot about application development processes that are being put in place for mobile, and how those processes are making a big difference in State Department. We heard over at, from Frank about logistics programs at the Air Force and how it's making a big difference in being able to actually track devices and so forth. And Jake brought up the classified mobile program, which I think is a major step forward to be able to do secure mobile conversations and data. It's a major step forward. We heard a little bit about the disability store and the discussion about the probation officers and how mobility programs are supporting them. Lessons learned, I heard involve the user, involve the user, involve the user experience. You're going to be judged based upon the user experience, not how cool the technology is. Governance processes need to be in place. Centralized back infrastructure makes sense so that you can try to manage this stuff. I heard about 24/7 support expectations from the future. People are going to want support wherever they are, any time of the day. We heard about mobilizing transactions and focusing on the transaction. Keep it simple came up a number of times, and the digital divide is a reality. We just have to work around it and manage it and manage to it. When we talked about challenges, we talked about DISA and the multiple infrastructures DISA has to support. It's not just one, but multiple. Being a service provider, you've got, you can't think of this as a individual infrastructure, and service ordering processes need to be developed, and they're a challenge. We heard about the fact that there's going to be people with different multiple expectations of the types of devices they're going to use. You're going to have your Android users, you're going to have your Apple users, you're going to have your BlackBerry folks, and there's going to be camps in pretty much every organization that have likes and dislikes in those areas. Security is always an issue that came up, and the mindset shift I thought was a very good comment that was made. You need to change your mindset. When we talk vision, we talked mobility basically becoming a standard operating procedure. I mean, it's not going to be seen as something different in the future. It's just going to be the way it is. And adaptive technologies that can be moved and changed and on the go, on the fly. Cloud services came up a lot when talking about the future. Cloud's here. We talked about security. We didn't mention FedRAMP and things like that, but there's things out there trying to address those security issues. Obviously, cloud creates some interesting new challenges for industry and government in getting service agreements correct, because there's going to be shared expectations as to who's responsible for a variety of security related kinds of things. But it's obviously coming, it's obviously the next generation, it's obviously anywhere, anytime is going to rely on cloud. Better identity solutions, we talked about derived credentials and improving that identity process. And then finally, virtual computing came up as a major issue.